So it's been a little bit longer than I intended between this video and the last video. That was because of a bit of honestly poor time management on my part. I'll own that, but also partly because I've been quite busy with some other stuff. Maybe a week or so away from publishing my 25th book, so that's quite exciting. So I've been really focused on that for the last week or so, which has taken up a lot more time and energy than I was expecting, but that is what it is. But I'm also thinking ahead. I was like, okay, so the book is going to come out, and then what? And if you've got any suggestions or any thoughts around this, I'd love to hear them. I'm curious as to what you think, because I'm in a situation where I'm building slash rebuilding my business, and I have a few offers as part of a very simple funnel, and there's a bit of a gap, and I have some thoughts, and I'll just take this chance to think out loud. And as I say, if you have any thoughts on my thoughts, I'd love to hear them, because I have a series of seminars. I've recorded one of them, and I have the basic designs for the other two. And so I'd love to record those and then offer those for sale through my store. So what would that mean is you pay a very small amount of money. Still figuring out all the details, so I won't give specifics, but it could be... Oh, there's a mozzie flying around. Get out of here. It could be something like $5, $10, I don't know. And you get 3 seminars, exclusive access to 3 seminars of mine, each of which is going to be half an hour long, something like that, teaching some really cool stuff that you really can't get anywhere else. And so, for example, one of my seminars teaches creativity. It is absolutely a skill that you can learn, and it's absolutely a skill that I can teach. It's far easier than most people assume. And as I talk about creativity, the sun comes out. How beautiful is that? And then also, as part of this funnel, at some point I want to do coaching with people, because I have coaching skills, I have hypnosis skills. I get a lot of value out of working one-on-one with people. These mozzies are crazy. And it's something that I've spent, how long now? Not quite a decade, but close to it, really developing my skills in that. All humility, I'm world-class with that skill set now. I've got a lot of training, I've got a lot of experiences, I've got a unique approach. Plus, there's not many people who combine things like hypnosis and Christianity, and those are far from the only things that I bring to the table here, but are fairly fundamental and powerful on their own. So I have something where it's a really cheap offer, pocket change, and I have something which is one-on-one coaching, which is going to be much more intensive, much more expensive. And it would be useful if there was something sort of in between those two. Now, what I'd do if this was 5 years ago is I'd create another informational product, which is what a seminar is. It's a recording, you consume it, you get some knowledge out of it, you get some skills out of it, cool. But the game has changed quite a bit. If you want information nowadays, you turn to a large language model, and it'll lie to you. That's just how people operate these days, and it's not great, and especially impacts the way that I like to operate. I'm a big fan of writing and creating content. That's why I do so much of it. And I have to admit, though, that the game has changed. AI has really changed the way that works. So are people still willing to pay a couple $100, for example, for something which is just information, just some basic self-paced training? The answer is that they should, because that stuff is still amazing. That is great stuff, if it's the right person, the right content. But the appetite for that has changed. People are more likely to, if they want that sort of information, go with either AI or someone who's a lot more established than I am. But this is an opportunity for me to rethink things. Hence why I'm just getting my thoughts out for the moment. So what am I thinking? Well, one thing that people want is entertainment. The stranger the world gets and the more uncertain the future, the more people seek that entertainment to experience a moment of distraction, or to experience a moment of joy, or to just experience something other than like the mundane world around them. And I have some ideas around some entertainment stuff, some fantasy, some sci-fi, but that's not really going to fit here. That's not going to be like the mid-ticket offer. And maybe I'll pursue those separately from this, maybe I won't, but either way, it's not going to fit here. Another thing that people are after is community. The more digital things get, the more digital we feel, the more sort of synthetic and artificial and disconnected we feel. I don't think I need to elaborate on that one. I don't think it's a controversial point. Like, the internet has the power to connect us, but it also has a way of isolating us, because that connection can be like a junk food sort of connection. It's like, yeah, it fills you up, yeah, it satisfies you on one level, but it's really lacking like the nutritiousness, the depth, the like what your body actually needs. And social interactions seem very similar. And yeah, I was chatting with someone, a very entrepreneurial guy, and he was saying that he just had this experience where it was like face to face for 2 or 3 days with a group of like-minded men, and that felt like such a premium in this age where everything is just consumed with Zoom calls. And yeah, again, it's not a controversial point. Like, face to face, real connection can do some amazing things. On top of community, there's experiences. I mean, everything's an experience if you think about it. But rather than something where it's like, well, you're watching TV, that's very passive. You're playing video games, slightly more engaged, but still, if your work is very much like either you're unemployed or it's like send emails, attend meetings, it still like feels very passive. It's like, where do you actually like experience growth? Where do you actually feel like you've achieved something? It can be something that's it's a little bit missing. And on that, like skills growth, like your transformation as a human being. So you either get a new skill or you resolve some old emotional injury or something. Like, that still has a pretty high premium. And AI can already do some interesting stuff with that. I've played around with some chatbots that I've designed, or people I've known have designed, and it's surprisingly good at that. It's also surprisingly, well, not so surprisingly bad in some ways. Like, if you've got some like serious issues to the point where you're not sure what's real and what's not, like your sense of reality is a bit unstable, AI must be terrible for you. Because I've had some pretty unhinged chats with AI, and it starts off as like, no, rein it back to reality. But if you just keep pushing it, you don't have to push it hard. Eventually it just joins you in this like mad hallucination. So mental health is going to be fascinating over the next few years, few months maybe, the rate that AI is changing. So yeah, AI can maybe do amazing things there. Maybe it's going to be terrible. Maybe it's probably going to be a mix of both. But anything that involves like a human to human interaction, AI is going to eventually, and I do mean like over the next few years, it's likely to do like an excellent job at that. So that brings me like around to, okay, what can I offer that's sort of mid-range of value, somewhere in the range of say $50 to $700, which is quite an interesting range where a lot of things can sit in there. But it's not going to be like a how-to guide. It's not going to be like a manual. It has to have something involving people like a real relationship, a real connection with people. But also something that gives you an experience, something that gives you some transformation, some skills growth, some emotional growth, whatever it is. And if it happens to be entertaining as well, then cool. That's going to be a nice bonus. And I have a few thoughts on that. One of which it'd be like a weekly or a monthly get together, ideally in person, based on what I said before. But realistically, I might have to do this virtually, where a group of guys come together and we have we connect as part of a community. So we connect one on one or in small groups. Like really get to know each other, really get to explore what's on our minds. Uh, that's why I really would like to do this in person, but we'll see how this plays out. And so this chance to connect with people, to have this like really like genuine um, like mateship, and then also it's not just hanging out. You're gonna get some value out of it. And so one of the things I'm thinking is like, well, I'm an extraordinary hypnotist. Do I offer people hypnotic experiences? Like almost certainly, because most of what I do is in some way at least slightly hypnotic. I like to say that these aren't. This is just me talking into a camera, getting my thoughts out. But I'm sure I'm doing something subtle, um, like very like low grade in the background. But I can offer people like really profound, like transformative experiences. Like some of the stuff that I've done with people, you know, an hour with me completely changes their life. I've cultivated that with people. I've experienced that myself. It's an incredible thing, and that might be enough. In fact, that's probably plenty. They could even offer on top of that like hypnosis training, like influence training, like covert psychological analysis and influence training. And if that becomes like this regular thing, maybe that sort of fits that gap. So I offer people like a really affordable set of information products. And then to plug the gap is like this group experience and training sort of thing. So not necessarily personalized, but still guided by you, involving you, co-creating this experience with me, facilitated by my coaching skills, my hypnosis skills, my group facilitation skills, which are also excellent, by the way. Um, I have a background in learning and development, so if you get a group of people in front of me and you want them to learn something, yeah, I can do that really well. And then anyone who wants to take that further can book me in for like one-on-one coaching sessions over a series of a few months. It feels like a really good fit to me, and it it sort of like plugs the gaps. It's like a natural leap. But I am curious what your thoughts are on this. Like, is that something you'd be interested in if it was something that you'd been interested in, or something you've done before? Because I haven't invented this concept. It's as similar to a mastermind. Similar. So, have you experienced something like this before? What did you like about it? What didn't? Have I like overlooked something obvious? Yeah, is there something else that like you know about me? I'd be really good at providing value in that range, and I just haven't considered it. All right, this has been just me talking about what's going on with me, uh, rather selfishly. So that's probably enough. Yeah, we'll call it there for a day. Peace be with you.